Little Man, what's going on, everyone? Nick here from Little Man YGO, back at it again with my Ribbit Ruler run, my not so epic Ribbit Ruler run. So I hope everyone's having a fantastic Sunday so far. This is officially the day after Ribbit Ruler, so I wanted to show off my deck list, show you some things that I learned, and as well as go through some of my matches. But before we jump into it, we are at 243 subscribers. Thank you so much for all the love and support so far. 7 away from the magical 250. Let's see us get there after this video, because I played at Ribbit Rulers. I was on stream and I got fucked. But that's okay, because we're gonna go over a couple of things today as why that is the case that it is. So you see the deck list that I ran at Ribbit Rulers, and you're like, what the fuck is this? And I'm like, all right, now here's some backstory. And this is we lost after round 4. So I only was able to play 4 rounds before I went 2-2 drop, which is, fine, given a field full of very talented duelists. All I gotta say is that I did not feel like I was super prepared for this event, and I was making a lot of last minute changes. So we're gonna go over some of the things that I've learned here yesterday. Is that I had some self doubts in the list that I was going to take, or so the lists rather that matter I was going to take, and I was really like, and just to be vulnerable, like I was not in the best headspace, just coming through a week of just like work and other obligations that were coming to my head. So I was just not feeling my best, not playing my best, not feeling like I could play the best that I could play. So my rationale was, well, if I don't feel like I could play the best that I could play, I'm just going to play a casino deck, right? And see how far the casino deck could take me, because sometimes it's Edison format, right? So this is a much more luck-based format than any of the other retro formats that are popular right now. And, that's why we decided to take this piece of crap right here. But it's not really a piece of crap. So this was in the Amaryllis Discord about a couple of days ago. There was someone who won like one of those 8-man tournaments that is in the Edison format, or the really big Yu-Gi-Oh Discord, whatever channel, and he said he was sacking the shit out of people with this, with something a list that was very similar to this, and I was like, all right, whatever. So I take the list and I play it, and then I started freaking sacking people on ladder with it, and I was like, holy shit, like there might be some merit to something along the lines of this. And then I was going to play like a different list, and I'll do a different video on that of what I was probably should have played and why I should have played it. But I decided to go down to the casino route version, playing Judgment Dragon, Titanium, this whole trade-in package, Threatening Roar. But and I really did not test much with the deck, so I played something that I was very unfamiliar with. And I think one of the things when you're entering like a really big tournament is no matter what tier or what you feel like the deck is going to be matched up against the meta game, you should probably play it because you just know it better than anyone else. And that's the most important thing too. Outside of that too, is just also making feeling like you have like the confidence in yourself. Go to the mirror and say, you know what? Whatever the fuck your name is, you could do this. You could do it. And I did not feel that in my heart, honestly, that I could do it. And even today, I was really thinking about on my mindset yesterday, and even me, it makes me a lot more motivated to kind of go back out there and just like hit the pavement running and like hit the ground harder. And I learned more from this loss than I did when I topped nationals several months ago. So which is honestly rewarding in the end of the day within itself. So I'm not like super upset by that, but we're going to go through all the matches that I played. First one I played against James Ark, Luck Extreme, as you see here. And of course, the dude Keegan here was walking. Shout out to Keegan for throwing the really big Yu-Gi-Oh! Edison, Yu-Gi-Oh! Discord, whatever. And he was playing Frog FTK, Frisho TK, while I was playing the Lightsworn. So obviously we're going through. He's thinning his deck, trying to draw into the Bumblefuck cards, and obviously he's bricking and passing, right? But he has this Gourds in his hand, which is going to be very, very nice. So I summon Arcus, I attack for 12, because I thought it was like on like frogs or whatever, and then we just mill 2 at the end phase, which doesn't accomplish a god darn thing, right? He goes for a Unifrog and just starts like poking in, which is fine because there's no Mirror Force. And I think that like if this was my actual version that plays more back row, this nonsense would have not been happening at all. So he plays around Honest, which is very nice. It's considering that that's what I tried to relay over to him. And then we go Lone Fire. Lone Fire, Titanial, and we're gonna box over, but he has the Threatening Roar. And then next turn he has Brain Control, and that's just unfortunate in the sense that Brain Control is just gonna kind of win him the game here. Pays 800. I have to negate with Titanial, so I lose, and then he just summons, and all this is exactly 4,900 as is, which is just unfortunate as, but whatever, we shake that off, that is what it is, but we're able to casino our opponent the way that we liked to. And then we open our hand, which is like even more ghastly terrible than what we were playing before. He's sided in Water Art, which was bananas. So he goes Meister and attacking the set, thinking that it's Raikou, which is fair. And then we get double Dandelion, and then he sets a back row, and this is where we wing boss the monster, the card back to the top of the deck. So then we draw, and then we hit Lone Fire Blossom, which is so awesome considering that this is going to be the nail in the coffin against Frogs, knowing that they're going to redraw a back row. But our friend James Ark has Lightning Vortex in our hands. So just unfortunate as it is. Really just unfortunate as it is. So he LVs and decides to destroy everything, which is fine. Goes Swap Frog. Swap Frog sends over the Treeborn, and then he attacks for 1,000. Puts the card back in his hand, passes the turn. We draw trade in. That card does nothing. We summon Lila. We attack for 17. We mill 3. We're able to get Amarillo, so we're trucking. And then he drew Colicath, which I don't have any play for this. So, and I've never played against this deck before. So he's Colicathing and doing summon the fucking Tanya. Like he summoned the Vanilla. I'm like, what the fuck, James? You're sick. So, but it plays on the bottomless, as you see by the stat line. So it makes sense, right? And then he goes in the Mistworm, bounce all the monsters, attack for game. I thought he was going to go the Armoring Arm route, where he's trying to equip a lot of Armoring Arms to this. And if he did that, he would have lost because I would have been able to Honest, and then he would attack again, and I would back the Honest, and then damage up him over the Honest. And he was going to game me, and I was going to game him before he gamed me. But he ended up going for the Wisworm and just going for it. He just didn't care about my back rows or whatever. If this was and I guess he had no reason not to, because he had the Water Art in his hand to take away whatever I was going to weigh in a crackback. So I just move right on to losers. I'm going up against ×2, another very powerful duelist, nothing but powerful duelist, and he's on machines, right? So I end up going and fucking opening insane. I Solar Recharge, we mill the Amaryllis. We wish we drew this last game, and then we go Amaryllis Titanial Pass, which is insane. So we move on, right? He's going Scrap Recycler, sending try to get the Fortress up, and he goes try to trade with the Titanial, which is acceptable. I understand that piece. He sets Torrential Passes. Hit an Armory out, go get the DDR. DDR discard to get back the Lone Fire. Get back the 2 tokens. Token's going to bring out Titanial, and then he's Torrentials. Totally fine. We get Amaryllis back at the end phase, so he can't plaster through that. So he's going to attack. We take the 800. We take that and pass, and then we summon Trooper. We hit into what would probably be the set Raikou. Pop it, draw a card. We hit another Wolf, which sucks ass. He can't do anything. He can't attack directly. So many walls. We Lila the sets. We top deck for Plague. Brio that back. And then we summon, activate Mark of the Rose to take the creature. And then we just power through, and then he's at 400. I do this because I know I have Amaryllis in my graveyard, and I'm going to checkmate him with that, and the game is over. So, which was really gangster, right? So we were able to get a win right there. And then he goes, and he's playing the machine shit. And I set Honest and set this and pass. And then he goes Card Trooper, thinking that he's hit into a Raikou, but nope, you bump right into Honest. And then we move on. So we can get the Honest back to our hand. We Wing Blast, target a back row. We try to Chimera take the field. We hit the wrong. He had double bottom us. So, like, what are you going to do? And then we set this Burial right here. We get 2 tokens. Like, we do not care, which is fine. We're just the way that we are. We're in a really weird position right now. He doesn't bottom us the Amaryllis there, which is correct because I would have. All right. And then we trade in, discarding that. And then we go trade in, set the Decree. So the Decree is going to help us into this game. At least I believe so. But he Pot of Avarices, puts all the dudes back to the deck, draws 2 cards, and we're still not looking good here. And I'm like, oh damn, what are you gonna do? So we Necroguard, and knowing that like we were having Burial in our set, so we Burial all the dudes back, and then we of course, negate, and then we summon Lila. We flip over Decree. We normal summon the Lila so we can turn on the best special summoning and get back Amaryllis during the end phase. He is just playing through everything, and he brain controls and then attacks me for game. What are you gonna do, right? But as you see, this deck is very bricky unless it's not bricky, which it is right here. So we draw 2, we hit that, and we hit Amaryllis and Wolf off the top. Amazing. You couldn't have like better discards than that. So we're just plussing out our asses right now. And he's attacking over both things. And he equips and passes. We tribute set for the Cyber Dragon. We decide to Chimera attack the field. Which is one of the reasons why I don't think machines could. It's like Chimera Tech and Cyber Dragon are keeping machines from being an S tier deck. That's a fact. And then after that, the game is just over because we sacked the shit out of 2x2. So moving on to the third round, right? So third round and losers playing against yugioh, and then we're moving over and going to. He's a 41 card deck versus 44. He's on Hero Beat with the Skyscraper, which is interesting. We set Arcus, which is pretty gangster, right? He has the Bottomless for the Jane, and we mill 2 at the end phase, and this Necrocarn is going to be able to protect the Arcus, which is really cool. So we saw Lila trying to hit the Starlight Road. As you can tell, we were just like not lucky with hitting the Starlight Road cards or the cards that we did not want to hit. It is the way that it is, unfortunately. Homeboy tries to get back, but I'm like, and then he says, haha, fuck that, because he can't read Amaryllis. Oh boy. Yeah, it's even at this high level, it's if people are unfamiliar with certain cards, then what are you gonna do, right? We go for Storm, we try to hit over there, we trade in, and then we get Charge and Solar Recharge. So that means that we're ready to party. So we were able to get Lumina Boomina. And we're thinking about our play. So we charge and we get these 2. We have Threatening Roar, which is talk about a card that was severely overperforming, and I wish I had more copies of it. I think if this deck had more copies of it, I would have felt better about it. But obviously hindsight 2020 in that regard. So he goes to Hero Blast, pop the Card Trooper, and we draw. We mill at the end phase. We mill 2, and we get back a bunch of these guys and pass, and then we go T-Roar over, which is fine. So we're just attacking over everything, because why not? We're doing a whole ton of damage, which is exactly what we want to do. Yeah, I mean, then we attack over the Goyle because that was the biggest threat. Honest over. And then we're able to get Amaryllis back into rotation. So he has 0 there. Attacks over for 13 and then attacks 2 tokens. Totally fine there. He didn't attack over Amaryllis because Deep Person's in the back row, because of course it is. And then we mark the rows. We take the Starless Dragon. And this is where we attack, which is completely fine. So we take over and we pass. He goes that and passes, and then we activate this, and then he decides to Solemn Judgment there. And then from there, we just fire card destruction, because why not? We have 3 cards left in our deck. And I'm like, all right, well, we need to make a bust and move next turn, and we top deck DDR. We mill the cop card for Plague. We mark the Rose, try to take it. We make a Black Rose Dragon. Black Rose Dragon bombs the field. And then from there, we DDR and we get the card back and we attack the game. So we were able to get a comeback with 0 cards left in deck. I'm such a genius. Not really, because I'm playing this deck. But we see this hand and we're like, oh god, very, very delicious hand. But he has the Light Imprisoning Mirror in his hand, which sucks donkey balls. But what are you going to do, right? So we charge. He charges for that. And then mills, and then goes Lone Fire, Titanio, attacks over. And then we set the Kree and we pass. So this is the only play you could do, is set that and pass. And then we are able to charge on out, hit onto this, which is totally fine. Set that and pass. And then, yeah, then this Light Imp is right back on live, which is really shitty. And then, yeah, I mean, you're seeing how this game is going. This Light Imprisoning Mirror is just like completely fucking destroying us. And we're not seeing the other half of our deck that would be really good in this scenario, because the plant stuff doesn't really care about Limb, but I attack over, and then he dies, and the DV Hero Beat, and things are doing the things that they're doing. And I don't know why Skyscraper's in this deck. That's a really good question, but it's super cool. We special summon that, and he has another Bottomless, and Whatever. What are you gonna do? All right, moving on to the next game. So we side on the counters because we're like, fuck it, I don't care. Because we saw line him. And then we just go this pass, which is standard. We love standard plays, right? He attacks over, we take 800, then we set a couple cards and passes. Attack for 1,000, which is fine. He didn't do anything with the deep prison on the Titania for some reason. I have no idea. But I guess he has the skyscraper to run it over. So I guess that kind of answers the question there. DDR, get back Lone Fire out to get another Titanial. We're rolling through Titanials, and we use that to negate, and then we set Honest, and we get this back and pass. He runs around the Volcanic counter, which is not bad because it helps us with our finish later on. We're able to pop the new set, which was probably going to be the Deep Prison, which is the reason why he didn't attack over the Amaryllis. But as you see here, he's having some problems. We draw Trade-in, which is exactly what we want to draw. So, but we're drawing two more Bricky cards. And then after that, we're able to get Amaryllis back at the end phase, pitch JD to put the Ocean back into the hand. So he attacks over Honest, and then he makes Android that passes. Then we mark the rose, take that, switch everything to attack, and just attack for game. And that's it. Yeah, there's not much more to say about that one, but what are you going to do? And then the next after that, we're playing Cam Saunders with all these freaking girls on his sleeves. Like, come on, dude. Too many girls on the sleeves, man. But that's okay. Waifu is Laifu, right? So we open. He's playing Diva Hero Beat again, but he plays Gores in his main deck, which is wild if you ask me, because you have to play your entire board against to it. You do have to play your whole hand towards Gores, though. That's just the way things are. So we're gonna recharge, draw 2 Miltu. Card Trooper over this card. We're in a very, very good spot. So he attacks over for 15. We draw a Charge of the Light Brigade. We decide to discard a top deck a random piece. Top deck for Plague. Mill 3 off charge. Grab Lila. Lila grab Wolf. Wolf attack over. He damage steps Honest, which sucks ass. We go to attack that, which is unfortunate. I probably would have made better, and I was thinking about making Stardust in that moment, and I probably should have made Stardust in that moment. And then here we are. We make Lumina Boomina, and then we attack for 1,000, and then he has an opportunity to drop the Gores, and he does. So we end phase that, and then we just mill 5 cards, hitting another Amaryllis. So our deck is starting to roll very nicely. We Honest over the Gores. Probably should have attacked with the Alias over the Jane. I think that was one of the bad things here, but that's okay. We attack over. He goes the Hero Blast. I set, and then we go double Amaryllis pass. And then here we go again. We're flipping over T-Roar, and it's fucking amazing right here. And we're able to body over both monsters, and he's going to take a ton of damage from that. We pay 1,000. We wipe the board. And then we're able to get at least 1 Amaryllis back, which is very, very nice. So 800 over. We take 17. And then we were so close. So close. So close, so yet so far away. I definitely think I threw when I did not make Stardust Dragon, because we could have attacked over the Neos Alias without that, and he was gonna have to Honest that. But we sack again, so we're able to get Wolf and double token and then set Royal Decree and pass. Then we mill 3 and we get Amaryllis. We are not losing this game. We are not losing this game at all. He has a handful of monsters that don't do a goddamn thing. He flips over the Fossil Dino, destroys some of the monsters here. And then we're able to attack right over, which is fine. So he does a whole ton of damage there. Mills 3, gets Wolf back, and he has 3 Neos Aliases in his hand. What are you gonna do? And then we go charge. We don't activate. This one we don't activate recharge yet. Whatever, that's okay. So we solar, draw 2 Mill 2, and then we set and pass. We attack for 1,500 over. That's completely fine. We draw, and then he decides to Gem Spark this one. And this attack directly. Very cool. So we decided to top deck that, and then we go JD and then Titanial, and we're just rolling on him. So then we attack over. We do not care. We mill 4. We hit Amaryllis, and this game is over. So yeah, that was crazy, right? So, but then we drew a not so crazy hand against a crazy hand, right? So we fire card destruction to get rid of literally everything, to draw a whole new set of grip. Nothing happens, which is terrible. But what are you gonna do? So he goes. It's like, what are you gonna do? Like he has full reactive back row. We don't have a way to just dismiss and just destroy ignorant cards, whatever. He goes he tops E-Call, which is unfortunate, and he hits the decree, which is even more unfortunate. 800, and then attacks over, and then this game is you short, and I had the heavy because like we had to try, and we tried to DDR things back, and then it ended up not being favorable in our manner. So that is the end of our run there, unfortunately. But GG's all around. What else could I say? I mean, look, it's one of those learning experiences that you should always play something that you are the most familiar with, even though this might have the higher ceiling. A lot more big power, a lot more testing should have been done too. Obviously, I would have played more copies of Threatening Roar in this deck. Like, probably would have played 3 of these things if I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. But you know, it is unfortunate the way that it went down, but it was not the W that I got. But we were able to make halfway through. We would hit the halfway point, so we did the average of how we were supposed to do. So but that's my run, guys. So I hope all you guys enjoyed it so far. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more Amaryllis, retro Yu-Gi-Oh, all that fun related stuff. Hope all of you have a fantastic rest of your day, and do not let your mind get to you. The sky is limitless. Peace, love you, have a great day.